First of all, let me thank you all for being here today. As you know, I've called a short meeting today to bring your attention to the concern of long hours in billing and accounts receivable. Um, Most working hours for a typical employee are 45 hours a week. We do have some who are working as many as 50. I've taken it upon myself to look in and do a little bit of research into the studies concerning health and the issues of illnesses among employees who work long hours, long days. What we have found is that some workers face as much as very minimal to even severe heart disease. Some of the things they're going to face, such as stress, fatigue, and even a lower productivity. What I proposed to take care of that after doing some research was originally either flex time vacation pay or a work from home. Now, flex time still puts those employees in the office, though it gives them a little more vacation time to look forward to, but we're still seeing them experience the stress and fatigue that most employees see when working overtime. I've come to the decision that I'd like to try to work out a work from home program. Looked into that a little bit, and what I did find is there are a couple of companies that have done this in the past, and they've alleviated many of the concerns they arose with in looking at this. So some of the concerns we first see when looking at this is productivity of the worker dropping off. Most of the studies we've looked at have shown that is absolutely not the case. Workers are as productive or more productive. Being there in their home environment, they're much more comfortable. You're working from an area where you're familiar with, you're very relaxed, very set at ease. The other concern is IT cost. Now we know if we're working from home, we've got an increase in internet technology so that we can allow the workers at home to make their phone calls to and from clients on a company line, as well as being able to communicate back with the office and be on the office and internet. These concerns have been addressed well, and we're seeing that many companies are even offsetting those costs beyond with the fact that these employees are at home, saving the company money. So the first company I looked at was a Chinese travel agency called Ctrip, and their call center staff was allowed to start working from home. Now originally they believed that we'd save money at Ctrip based off of the lack of office furniture being needed, a decreased size in office space, and a lower overhead being that they're not using our utilities or our facilities. But they figured that money would be saved and offset the productivity loss from the employees being at home and not being supervised in the office. Shockingly, what Ctrip discovered was that the increase in productivity from at-home employees was about 13.5%. They also saw they were saving on that overhead and on that furniture, and that the employees working from home in those savings were actually saving about $1,900 per employee per month. That's $1,900 in overhead costs, utility costs, and office space costs. And the increase in productivity, 13.5, while it doesn't sound like much, is actually very drastic. As you'll see in a bar graph I'm going to show you, the average in-office employee at Ctrip can answer about 36 calls a day based on a 9-hour work day for our 45-hour work week. The employees at home seeing a 13.5% increase on this. Now that doesn't sound like much, but an in-office employee is answering about 720 calls a month, while an at-home employee is answering about 800 a month. That's actually almost a full work day a week extra out of employees at home. So what we're seeing is in-office at 5 days a week, 45 to 50 hours a week, doing about 720 calls a month, while we have our at-home folks working and actually giving us almost 6 full days a week working from home for 5 days. Now, the average employee costs Ctrip about $5,800 a month or so estimated. With a savings of that $1,900, those employees were only costing somewhere in the $3,200 range. So there's also a look at United Kingdom's BT company. Now they feared an increase in IT costs when they considered a work from home. They thought the money they'd save from overhead would actually cover that. What they found also was an increase in productivity, enough to offset the IT cost, and the ability to offset their cost even more, being able to take their office spaces and their office buildings down from 15 buildings in Surrey County down to 5. The same was true of the IT company Surrey County that also helped BT set this apart. I do have the proposal set up and drafted, ready to send to each of you today, Mr. Browning. I do have the information set up for you for the proposal. I can send that out to you immediately. In the meantime, I just wanted to demonstrate that while I'm not there with you today, working from home is not a bad idea, and it's actually very relaxing. So if you'll take a look around here, we're actually in my home, and while I'm still able to do my business meetings and feel very good about what I'm doing, I'm just a quick turn of the camera here. I'm still kind of relaxed today. So, normally I'd have had a hard time giving this proposal to you all, and I thought that doing this from home would mean a lot more. As you can see, that I'm very comfortable today. You're still getting the information you need. Just to paraphrase author Kevin Cross and his top 10 benefits of working from home, it doesn't so much matter where our employees do their work as long as they do their work. And I think that's very important and something for us to consider. Thank you very much for your time.